Oh, Outlet Stadium where today the 16-0 playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. And why are the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they suck. They lost the Super Bowl because they suck. The Philadelphia Eagles suck. Rolls right off the tongue there. They suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all that's going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Fire away, throw it in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So if I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. Plus, instead of me just like freaking rambling on and on for like 30 minutes or whatever, it's nice just to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free, fire away. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, there's a top link. It takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second membership level is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third one is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean the world to me. I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. Thank you. If you're not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. That way next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed, thank you. As I said, I can use all the support I can get. And then finally, in the description box below, there's 2 Facebook links. The top one takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's the group. Basically, I say this in every video. My YouTube channel, my Facebook group, and my Facebook page, which I'll go over in a minute. It's all basically pretty much called the same things, like the New York Giants, the Gridiron. That way, I'm more on like me. I can remember. I said, what's my channel called? What's the YouTube, Facebook page? It's all called the same thing. It just dumbs it down for me, right? But what do we have? We have over 3,600 members in the group. Doing really, really good. Usually once I get done going live, I'll spend probably like the next 2 hours putting stuff in the page and in the group. And, whether it's a video, something just showing some stats on a player, a picture, a post, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys, which are some of my personal favorites, right? I put it in there. I try to get up to like about 10 things a day in there, if I can. And if you become a member, not only do I put stuff in there, but the members post stuff in here as well, too. So there's a ton of stuff going in there every day. Then the second Facebook link takes you to my Facebook. It's a page. All right. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. Very original. But it's a page. So I'm the administrator. I'm the only one to post in here. But it's pretty much the same thing. Once I get done, I'm putting stuff in the group and I'm putting stuff in the page. And as I said, I try to get, if I can, up to like 10 different things every day in the page. And, as I said, in the group as well, too. And I don't really commingle, really. So basically, whatever I put in the page, I don't put in the group. Whatever I put in a group, I don't put in a page. Unless, as I said, unless I really find something juicy, really makes fun of the Eagles. That's what I'm putting on this earth here for, to make fun of the Eagles. So if I find something that just really makes fun of the Eagles, I just want to share it with everybody. So I might put that in the page and in the group. What do we got? We're over 1,600 likes on the page, and we're over 5,600 followers on the page. So the page, I tell you, page is really doing good. I started the page after I started the group, and I got more followers in the page than I do in the group. I got like 2,000 more followers on the page than I do have members in the group. And I said I started this page by like 3 or 4 months after I started the group. Its page is really, really doing good, really phenomenal. So I said, so if you go to the Facebook page and you like it and you follow it, And if you go to the group and become a member, there's a ton of New York Giants information every day, 7 days a week. I'm always putting stuff in there. And like I say all the time, if you go to the page and you like it and you follow it and you go to the group and you become a member, if you're not 100% guaranteed, you get your money back guaranteed. All that stuff said and done, out of the way with. Good old Tyrod Taylor. You got to love him. You know, I know I said whatever it was. Okay, now it was before last season. So it was before 20. We needed a backup, right? Judge was gone. So, we were going to need somebody to either push Daniel Jones or maybe not even push him, but push him or give him a run for his money for the starting job, right? We're gonna need somebody without question. And I know I said somewhere along the lines in one of those videos that I did prior to us picking up a backup quarterback. I said I want to either get Teddy Bridgewater in here or Tyrod Taylor. I said if we can get one of those two guys, experienced, right, good with the football, either be they would be a real good solid backup, which the Giants, I haven't really had much of that. We had a good backup quarterback when Daniel Jones took over for Eli Manning, and Eli Manning was standing on the sideline. That was a pretty good backup quarterback, but somebody with a lot of experience with we had Davis Webb, but somebody who's been a good starter, but who's been a good quality quarterback. We haven't had much of that. And so I was really thrilled when we got Tyrod. But let's see here. Sports Illustrated said earlier this month, this is from Giants Wire, right? Says earlier this month, Sports Illustrated released their rankings of backup quarterbacks, and Tyrod Taylor of the Giants checked in at number 14 overall. And it's like, I was reading this, and that's really, I don't want to lie. I haven't gone and checked every team's backup quarterback situation, wrote them all down and charted graphs and figured this out and what the pass percentage is and what's their touchdowns and completions and yards per pass play. I didn't do that, right? But I don't know, just a little common knowledge here would kind of maybe go a long way maybe in this topic of conversation here. We're going to go over some of his numbers. We're not talking, we're not comparing him to, he's backup. We're not comparing him to Patrick Mahomes. We're not comparing him to Tom Brady, Josh Allen, somebody like, he's a backup. Okay. Let's keep that in mind as we go through this here, shall we? And for Giants Wire, right, they said that seemed, being 14th overall as a backup, that seemed a bit low for Taylor, who has had hard luck career despite routinely flashing on the field. Hard luck, yeah. That's, his injuries. The one time, I forgot I think he was when he was with the Chargers, and the doctor there punctured his lung, stuck a needle in his chest for something, and wound up puncturing his lung. It was just horrible luck. He's been around. And we're going to go over, his experience here. But good old Marty Morningwig, all right, who currently works for the 33rd team, agrees that the ranking was entirely too low. In fact, Morningwig recently argued that Taylor is the league's very best backup quarterback. They said, I'm not going to argue either way, but just 14th really for a backup really seems a bit low. But Mr. Marty Morningwig seems to doesn't seem to agree with number 14 at all. He said Marty said, this might be a bit of a surprise. Tyrod Taylor is a savvy 33-year-old veteran with an 88.2 career passing rating. And now, let's keep this in mind. He hasn't been on juggernaut teams either. Okay? He has 53 starts, and he led the Buffalo Bills to their first playoff appearance in 18 years. So that was, I guess it was, I think 1999 was their last playoff appearance. And so in 2017, he led the Bills, who was not they were not an offensive juggernaut. They were not a powerhouse or nothing at the time. He led them to the playoffs. Taylor still shows the ability to move and groove. This is move and groove here. He's got a lot of experience. Yes, he does. And and this is huge. He's thrown more than twice as many touchdowns as he has interceptions. Last year, of course, he threw the one interception, but that was a deep ball. Wound up being more like a punt, right? And of course, he got injured too. Poor guy. Guy can't catch a break. Taylor gives the Giants the NFL's top backup quarterback, Marty says. Taylor is perfectly suited for his role in New York, but still possesses the talent and athleticism required to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Daniel Jones were to go down in a worst-case scenario, the Giants could rest relatively easy knowing Taylor is there to bridge the gap on the DJ's return. Absolutely. It remains to be seen if the 33-year-old Taylor even gets another chance to start in the NFL because, I mean, he's getting up there, but he can enjoy a solid payday as the league's best backup. We got here. I mean, the Giants don't have him for next year. So, I mean, it might behoove them. I mean, unless they think something about Mr. DeVito, which I'm not really feeling. But, have him for next season. So, I mean, if they, he's not going to break the bank. The salary cap's going up. Why not try to sign him for at least another year? Let's see here. He was in 3 games last year. Right? He was 6 out of 8 passing, 75% completion. He threw 1 touchdown. He had the 1 interception. So let's see, first downs. He ran. Of course, I think that's when he got injured. Was when he ran. But in his career, I mean, he's been around since 2011. Let's see, but in his career, he said he's thrown 60 touchdowns and he got 26 interceptions. Now, maybe he threw in the playoffs because they said 28 interceptions. So maybe that was in the playoffs he threw it in. He had a couple interceptions in the playoff game, maybe. That's what I'm kind of thinking. But, I mean, in the regular season here, they had 60 touchdown passes and only 26 interceptions. I mean, your backup quarterback, has been in the league since 2011. He was with the Giants last year. They were not an offensive juggernaut. He was with the Houston Texans. He was with the Chargers. He was with the Cleveland Browns. He was with Buffalo when they were not super spectacular. He even went to the Pro Bowl in 2015. I said, with the 3 years, he was basically 3 years, he was the starting quarterback for Buffalo. In 2015, he was their starter. He went 7-6. He had, once again, he's not an offensive juggernaut for Buffalo. They were struggling even just to make the playoffs back then. And Mr. Brady's neighborhood was the dominating team in the AFC East back then, right? He was 7-6 in 2015. He threw 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. 2016, he was 7-8 with the Bills. He threw 17 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Then the year they went to the playoffs, he was 8-6. He threw 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. His interception ratio percentage was 1.0. In that season with the Bills, 1%. The 3 years he was the starting quarterback for the Bills, he got better each year. He was 1.6% interceptions in 2015, 1.4% of his passes were intercepted in 2016, and then 1% in 2017. Kept getting better each year. A lot of experience, intelligent, good with the football. Key thing, good with the football. All right. I mean, he'll tuck it down and run, but he doesn't throw many interceptions. I mean, he's been around since 2011. So what we got with 9, 10, 11. He's in 12 years. He's thrown 26 interceptions. Really good. So, I mean, if the Giants, I don't know what the Giants plan on doing with him. As I said, I mean, it wouldn't take much to, I mean, if you look, I mean, I don't know what he wants to do going forward. If he still thinks somewhere along the line he has it in him to become a starting quarterback, who knows? Don't know. But I mean, I do know. I mean, if they offer him, say, another $5 million or $6 million for next season, heck, if he's on the sideline the whole, I mean, of course you want to play. We all know that he wants to play. But I mean, if he has to be on the sideline for almost the whole season holding a clipboard and you're going to make $6 million, that's not too bad. Plus the beauty of it, now he's in the same system for his second season, going to get smarter, right? He's going to be more confident now, but we got more weapons. So if Daniel Jones were to go out this season, this is his second season in the same system. We upgraded the weapons, so things will be even better. And as I said, once again, if you bring him back for a third season, he'll be, if Kafka is still here, he'll be in third year in the same system. So, I mean, if we can, it may not be too bad to, try to lock him up for maybe another year if we can, until, somewhere along the line, I think we can find somebody that can be a possible, backup for Daniel Jones going forward. I mean, I'm not sure if as I said, if Mr. DeVito is that, but I mean, I think without question, Tyrod is a top-notch backup quarterback. As I said, we're not saying he's a starting quarterback, and we're not comparing him to Patrick Mahomes, right? He's a backup. So we're very lucky we have him as a backup. Then, okay, when Wink was talking, it was Thursday. They didn't have the OTAs Thursday or Friday because of the air quality. They had meetings. I think they had the guys were working out because it was inside the building. I guess the quality was far superior in there. I guess that wasn't going to cause any type of a problem. So they had T-Mac, Wink, and they had Kafka all speak. And when Wink, somebody asked Wink, I can't remember who it was, about the inside linebackers, off-ball linebackers, whatever you want to call them. And he was talking about, because of Carrick and all. But it actually was the second to last question, because it was the final question. Somebody asked him, and then somebody else asked a question. I think he said, "I'll get back to you," or something, or whatever it was, or something. So he answered the question, and he said he was talking about the off-ball middle linebackers, whatever. And the last thing he said in the question, and nobody even asked him about, he just brought it up. And he said, Micah McFadden has really improved. And he said, then he as soon as he didn't explain that or go into that, then he depthed it all. But he just said the last few words of that answering that question. And Micah McFadden's really, really improved. You got to, and then he goes, you got a question? So then when he pointed to another reporter or whatever, they asked him a question after that, and that was the final question. So he didn't expound on it at all about, what he was talking about with but I mean, he just kind of brought it up, right? Even Bobby Okereke, he said, I like Mike. He said he's a tactician. I think he said something along those lines. So, he was pretty impressed with Micah McFadden. Now, Micah played in every game last year. I think he was the only rookie the Giants had who managed to stay safe and play in all 17 games. Now, he was on special teams. He was in the, obviously, he was on the defense. All right, where's he at here? 342,000 tabs I got up. There we go. All right, here's Mr. McFadden, the man with the neck. Be interesting to see if he winds up on the Giants for more like, if he winds up like 6, 7, 8 years. I'm just saying. Because sometimes it's kind of funny because guys work their necks out, right? And their necks, as time goes by, the necks are like, nice and wide, but then they just start getting fatter and fatter and fatter. I mean, as time goes by, it's like there's like their heads attached to their shoulders, like they don't have a neck. It's just like one, just huge. I'm kind of interested to see if his neck muscles get even bigger. He's got a nice wide neck. Must work out on it a lot. But what do we got here? Weeks 6 and 7 were the only weeks that he basically did not play on defense. He played in special teams. Played a lot on special teams. Weeks 10, he played just defense, no special teams. Week 14, he played defense, no special teams. And week 16, he played just defense and no special teams. I mean, he got 552 very, very valuable snaps last year. I mean, a couple of these, I'm not even sure what the heck's going on here. But he was on the defensive line, according to PFF, 63 snaps. He was in the box, his normal position, 355 snaps. Somehow he was the slot corner, 13 snaps. Somehow he was the wide corner, 3 snaps. Somehow he was the free safety on 1 snap. Okay. Who the hell was that against? Let's take a look here. If I can find him. Well, whatever it was week 4. I can find this at all there. Week 4. Let me see here. Whoever week 4 was against Chicago, they lined him up as a safety. So week 4, but he was on special teams. He played a lot of defensive snaps. He played 435 defensive snaps. Run defense for 218, and basically it was split 50-50. What the heck would that be? Wow. Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness. Wow. 218 run plays or defensive runs. It was on the field. It wound up being a run, right? So it was defensive run plays. 217 were pass plays. So basically 50-50. Half the plays he was in was run. Half the plays he was in was pass. He graded that over us by PFF. But I mean, you can take it for whatever it's worth, PFF, But he graded out at 38.7. Now, he did have some, very good games. He had a couple good games. The week 18, when we had nothing but second and third stringers in it, he graded out at 79.7 against the Eagles. Week 15 against the Commanders, he graded out 72.6. Week 8, when we lost to Seattle, he graded out 71.9. Week 2 against Carolina, he graded out 82.6. And he had some very good games, but then he had some clunkers. Against Chicago, he graded out at 28.7. The following week in London against Green Bay, 26.9. Against Detroit, he graded out 25.8. Minnesota, the first time we played him, he graded out at 29.6. He had some coverage problems. His pass rush wasn't too bad. When Wink actually sent them, he didn't do too bad. His pass rush grade, according to PFF, is 66.3. His tackling, he's very good at tackling. His run defense is, sometimes he gets washed away. He gets, somebody gets up to the second guard or whatever, gets to the second level, and But apparently, Wink really thinks he's improved. So that's good. I mean, unfortunately, there's not something we can really see right now because of the OTAs. There's not like a lot of film at all or anything, obviously, on that. We just take a lot of people's word for it. But this is Giants Wire. New York Giants have beefed up their linebacker group this offseason, adding a top off-ball guy in Bobby Okereke and re-signing Jarrad Davis. Now, hopefully with Davis, because he just came in at the end of the season, kind of threw him in there. There you go, Jarrad. All right, good luck. God bless you, brother. Hope you play well for us. I mean, this has been his second season, right? I got drafted. I think it was a second rounder. I think he was second. I mean, drafted rather high. And we had a hard time getting him off of the Lions practice squad, but let's say second year in the same system. Hopefully he'll do even better. But last year the Giants were very thin at inside linebacker with the injury to Darian Beavers and the underperformance of like Tay Crowder. Sometimes Jalen Smith, Austin Calitro. He was in there early in the season, and then he wasn't there after that. And rookie Micah McFadden before bringing in Davis near the end of the season. McFadden played in all 17 regular season games, starting in 7 of them. Playing 38.5% of the defensive snaps. He's shown at times, but his inexperience was evident. This summer, with a year of NFL experience under his belt and the competition at inside linebacker ramping up with the new additions, including undrafted free agents Troy Brown and Deontay Johnson, McFadden must take that year 2 leap to secure a roster spot. Defensive coordinator Wink Martindale is excited in general about the unit, but told reporters this week that McFadden is making strides. He said, when he was answering the question, this is what he was saying. He said, it's all competition right now with he and JD. I believe he was talking about when he said he, it means Okereke. I believe that's what he was talking about. He said, it's all competition right now with he, meaning Okereke, and JD or Jarrad Davis, right? But then he said, and I'll tell you, Micah has really improved, he said. And then and then he started pointing to the report. He said, you have a question? He didn't expound on it at all, meaning what he was talking about. He just threw that in there. Nobody asked him about Micah McFadden or nothing. He just said, he really improved. So that's fantastic. That's great. We got Darian Beavers coming back. We got Okereke in there. We got Jarrad Davis, who should improve a little bit. And Micah McFadden, hopefully, will be taking it another step forward, which would be fantastic. Fantastic. He said the main off-ball linebacker this season will be Okereke, absolutely, with 4-year, $40 million deal. Oh, yeah. It said it's fun to watch him play because of his size, his strength, but most of all, he's a good guy, Martindale said of the former Stanford and Indianapolis Colts star, meaning Okereke. He's a real intelligent kid that knows football, and it's not hard to talk football with him. So all those things have been great, and we've just got to get ready to take the next step, which for me is vacation. Because after their mini camp this week, they got 3 days. I think it's 2 mini camps, and then I think the third day is something like a team activity. I think it is. Not sure what they're doing or where they're going or whatever. But so they got three days together. And then there's like 6 weeks off. Everybody pretty much, I'm sure it doesn't mean that Shane or Dayball or nothing like that. I'm sure Daniel Jones and some people will be in there. Some people will be going in to get treatment. And I'm sure Daniel Jones will just be in there just because he's Daniel Jones. And but I mean, a lot of guys have vacations, right? So you got like 6 weeks off. So that means wink. But it's really, really nice to hear that, whether he's going to take, what's up, Terrence? No pads. Yep, no pads. Yep, no pads. No hitting, no pads. Is what it is. Yeah. But it's nice to see, especially that was a weak spot for the Giants last year, without question. Now we beefed up the interior defensive line there in the interior defensive positions with Robinson, Nunez, Roches, or Nacho. We have the Sexy Dexy inked him to a nice long deal, and we have Leonard Williams coming back, hopefully with his neck, hopefully healed, right? So he'll be hopefully performing better. So the interior got better. And then we got, was also another thing was weak because last year our weakness was the depth on the interior defensive line. We bolstered that, but also our weakness was also behind the defensive line, the guys in the middle, right? I mean, it wasn't like they didn't try. Certainly, it wasn't. Nobody was no slouch out there, you know. Everybody, you know. Yeah, even Austin Calitro was out there trying his best. It just didn't work. Jalen Smith was out there, right? So, so hopefully that the interior, the middle linebackers, inside linebackers, however you want to put it, we should be much improved this year. And if Micah McFadden can take another step, that would be fantastic. Yeah, I mean, guys like that, especially the late round guys, you know, like Darren Beavers, right? You know, I mean, this year Trey Hawkins, Javarius Owens, right? Jordan Riley, you know, guys like that. You gotta have guys like that, you know, because you can't just, you know, win by first rounders. You know, you need those back of the end guys, you know, draft late round, third day guys to perform. You know, Daniel Bellinger, right? Darian Beavers, you know, on and Dane Belton, Bellinger, Belton, the Bees, right? No, I'm sorry, the Killer Bees. Belton, Beavers, and Bellinger. How you like me now, huh? And Micah McFadden. You know, guys like that. You got to have guys like that, you know, perform. So if he can take a step forward, that'd be absolutely fantastic. I'm certainly pulling for him. And then I just wanted to go, what I'm going to try to do, I seen this on Big Blue Kickoff Live. What they did is they kind of compared the Giants' positional groups to all the positional groups in the rest of the NFC, the East. I'm not going to go. I mean, because I don't know a lot of the other teams that well to even try to even start talking. You know, I'm not going to sit here and try to, you know, talk for 5 or 6, 7 minutes on the quarterback situation for the Carolina Panthers or, you know, the Baltimore Ravens. And, you know, I mean, I just don't know enough about those. You know, they just, you know, I'm trying to obviously more interested with the NFC East, obviously the Giants. So I wanted to go and I wanted to put my 2 cents in, especially now because we're going to start getting toward, you know, what do you want to call it? the dead ball era, right? Where there's like 6 weeks of kind of like, you know, good luck trying to find something to talk about sometime, you know. So I'm gonna try to go maybe position group by position group, offense and defense, and you know, compared to Giants, I'll start with quarterback. Right, what I think. You know, how each team rates. I'm going to give a ranking to each team. And after everything's all done, I'll add it up. And I'm sure the Eagles will be number 1, but I don't know. But I'm gonna compare the Giants and see who's, you know, I'm going to give, you know, who's number 1, who's number 2. Now, basically what I'm going to try to do is take the positional group and I'm going to go on basically some different, you know, categories. I'm not category, but I mean, what I think like the Giants quarterbacks are, okay, but also how, like in the Eagles case, all right, this is a perfect example. You know, the Eagles, their quarterback situation, but not only their situation, but the team that's around them, right? Which obviously makes their quarterback situation better. You know, the Giants quarterbacks are good, but the team around the quarterback is not as good as the Eagles. So therefore, you know, I'm trying to keep all this stuff instead of just going, Daniel Jones is better than him. And so I take the Giants quarterback, you know, so I'm going to try to keep everything in perspective here. So I'll just go from my top one on down. So basically that top quarterback, I hate saying this. It's going to hurt me in the morning, but got to go with the Eagles. And Jalen Hurts is absolutely without question. You know, he seems like a very good, you know, he was probably the best guy on the field. Well, it's tough to say in the Super Bowl he was the best guy on the field because, why? Well, because Patrick Mahomes played on one leg and they won the game. What might he have done if he played on 2 legs? Good point. But Jalen Hurts had a very good Super Bowl. He had a little mistake there, a little fumble. It kind of cost him 7 points, which might have kind of cost him the game. So, but I mean, a very good situation. Very good game, obviously. Now, what do we got here? I'm trying to, let's see. Okay, their quarterbacks. I'm just trying to see who they got a third stringer right there because they brought Mariota in. I'm trying to look them down their roster here. Let's see. I know they have, because they don't have Minshew Mania no more. They got, there we go. Okay, Tanner McKee from Stanford. He looks could be promising, but obviously wasn't taken really high. So they got McKee, I guess Mariota, and I just got Hurts. I don't know if they got another fourth guy. I mean, that would be a bit much. It's a cornerback. Yeah, so I'll just go with those three guys. Now, I mean, obviously we don't know what Tanner McKee. I mean, he had a nice college career. Marcus Mariota has a lot of experience to him. He does well, running the ball. Right, a lot of times you get him in there, and a lot of times, especially like last year when he was on the field. I mean, he ran the ball a lot, which would work out well for the Eagles with the RPOs and everything, right? I mean, their situation. I mean, just the way it is. I mean, and Jalen Hurts, very, very good, very good. Now he had a very good season last year. 66.5% completion. I know I had, didn't I have Daniel? No, I didn't. I guess I didn't. Thought I had Daniel Jones put up there. But I mean, Jalen Hurts had a very, very good, didn't throw a lot of interceptions, had a lot of yards rushing the ball. I mean, their RPO, was outstanding. Their running game was very good. But I mean, even look, it goes two ways. Daniel Jones' completion percentage was higher than Jalen Hurts. However, Jalen Hurts threw the ball down the field more. But however, who did Jalen Hurts have to throw the ball to? DeVonta Smith and A.J. Brown. Right? Do the Giants have either one? No, they don't. Also, I mean, Daniel Jones with lesser receivers, weaker offensive line, completed more passes, a lot of much shorter passes, but he had, we didn't feel comfortable with him in the pocket for extended period of time because we had some porous pass protection. We don't have a unbelievable, talent. We have some nice receivers, some nice second twos and threes, but we don't have a dog like the Eagles do. So without question, I mean, just because of the talent, the Eagles quarterbacks, I mean, Mariota certainly ain't no slouch, right? But I mean, because of the talent of their quarterbacks and the talent of the team around those quarterbacks, without question, you got to make the Eagles number one. That hurts. I'm gonna when this video's over, I'm gonna punch myself in the face for actually saying it, but. You got to give credit where credit's due, right? I'm going to go number two, and I hope I'm not jinxing us or anything like that. I'm going to say the Giants quarterback situation is the second best in the East. I think we did quite a bit to move up and to catch the Cowboys. If anything, we might be, if anything. I mean, the Cowboys did not have a phenomenal offseason here. All right, did not have a phenomenal offseason. Their offensive line is still very good. However, some of the guys, like Smith, he's another year older. Right, he gets a lot of injuries. They don't have Zeke, but but they still got Pollard. They lost Schultz, but they got either Schoonmaker. They brought him in, but he's a rookie, so you're not exactly sure exactly what I would have took Mayer in the first round, but they didn't do that. I mean, obviously they still have ABCD Lamb. I mean, the guy's unbelievable, phenomenal talent. If ABCD was with the Giants, But that's one thing the Cowboys always, they've always made sure they've always had a good supply of receivers. Now, whether they stay healthy or not, that's another thing. But Mr. Jones likes to have his receivers, so which certainly helps Dak. But I'm going to say that given Daniel Jones, okay, this will be his second season. Right now, he did a very good job last year, of with the ball, holding on to the ball, not throwing interceptions, as like protecting the ball. Didn't have a ton of touchdowns, but hopefully now that we've upgraded the weapons, hopefully we've upgraded the offensive line. I believe he, without question, we're looking at, unless he gets injured, if you don't have over 20 touchdown passes, Houston, we got a problem, right? With the weapons we got now, we still need a number one dog, but if we don't have, if you don't get over 20 touchdown passes, So between what we got with Daniel Jones, I said, you look at Dak last year. I mean, interceptions. I mean, it was just right. I mean, they beat the Bucs in the first round, and then they lost to the 49ers 19-12. Right. Once again, they could not get out of the divisional round. They get to the divisional round, and what do they do? They lost. Now, once again, this is Dak's. This is going to be his 8th season, isn't it? Let me count. I think he's played 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Where are we at here? I mean, look, 2021, he had 37 touchdown passes. He had 4,400 yards passing, only 37 and 10. Fantastic. 2020, he was injured. 2019, 30 touchdowns, only 11 interceptions. Fantastic. His first rookie year, right? He had 23 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 0.9% interception rate percentage. I mean, very good numbers. I mean, last year, 23 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, and he had 4 fumbles too. Not impressive. His percentage completion was 66.2 with those weapons. Daniel Jones completed more passes. And Daniel Jones, I think, had more. I think the team had more drop passes than anybody else. Daniel Jones' completion percentage, I think you take his completion percentage and the drop passes his receivers had, and you combine the two, I think Daniel Jones would have, I think he might have led the league with completion percentage, right? And now see, who do they got? Dallas. Let's see. I know they got the 3 guys. Because obviously we got Dak, and then you got Cooper Rush too. I'll take Tyrod over Cooper Rush. Now, as I said, you always got to give Will Grier. There you go, Will Grier. Okay, so Will Grier is going to be his 5th season. Looks like. I mean, if he was going to do anything, he'd been a starter by now. So I'm without question, I'm going to give the Giants the 2nd spot in this, only because I think Daniel Jones is the team around that we added to the weapons. I think the Cowboys might have taken a step back a little bit. Their offensive line might be another year older. I mean, Dak. It's been 7 seasons, and he has not gotten out of the divisional round. Not only that, but last year, 15 interceptions. 12 games, he threw 15 interceptions. I mean, that's horrible. 3.8%. I mean, his interception percentage, it was over 3 times that of Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is very, very good. Plus, I said the 2nd season with Daniel Jones in the same system. Be very important. I mean, now he won't have to think as much. He'll just be able to hopefully look around and react. So I'm going to give the Giants the Giants quarterback situation between Daniel Jones and Tyrod. I'm going to give them a little bit of the nod over Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush. So I got the Eagles number 1. I got the Giants quarterback situation. With the quarterbacks themselves and the team around because I think the Giants. Their offensive line, we got better. Our weapons got better. Our running back is the best running back in the division. The quarterback is going to get better. Their quarterback, I'm not sure if their quarterback is going to be getting better or not. I mean, he took a step backwards last year. 15 interceptions. Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. No excuse for that at all. And I said, I think, I'm going to give the Cowboys, obviously, when we go to wide receivers, I'm going to give the Cowboys the nod at wide receiver. So they have the little bit, but our tight ends are better. So our weapons are just very close to being what the Cowboys are. So I'm going to definitely, without question, give the Giants the number 2 in the position. Cowboys are the 3rd quarterback. So I'm going to give the Eagles 4 points, the Giants 3 points, the Cowboys 2, which winds up leaving you with the Washington Commanders at 4th place with us. So I'm going to give them 1 point for this year. I think they got was it Jacoby Brissett? They got Jacoby in there. I'm trying to see if they wind up with, they got Tim Demerat, rookie from Fordham. Okay. They got Jake Fromm. Okay. I think we're familiar with him, right? I think we're kind of familiar with Jake can do in a game, right? Let's see. So then they got 4 quarterbacks. Then they got Sam Howell, right? So I mean, I think Sam. Well, we'll see. I'm not real high on the Commanders quarterback situation right here. We'll have to. We're gonna have to wait and see on that one there. But I think, without question, I think the Commanders, their quarterback situation in the NFC East is the worst. We got Dallas. Of course, they suck. They all suck. Commanders, Cowboys, and the Eagles. The Eagles really suck. So as far as all 4 of the teams in the end, I'm going to add them all up at the end. Offense, defense. Maybe I'll put special teams in there and coaching staff. I'll do that too as well. So we'll start with the quarterbacks here. I got the Eagles. I'll have 4 points. The Giants got 3 points because I think they're a little bit better. I think they're going to take a step forward this year. Second year in the same system, same 2 quarterbacks, right? Upgraded the weapons, upgraded the offensive system. Daniel Jones is good at protecting the ball. Dak Prescott last year, I'm not exactly sure, 15 interceptions. That's, once again, couldn't get out of the divisional round. He's been in the league for 7 seasons, still has not been able to get out of the divisional round. So I got the Giants with 3 points. The Cowboys got 2, and I think the Commanders are, they got some work maybe to do out. Well, maybe Al. I mean, Brissett is not spring. I mean, he's not horrible. Without question, he's not horrible. But I think between Brissett and Howell, I think that kind of dynamic duo there is, I think, in a division, I think they're 4th worst. So I'm going to give them 1 point. Tomorrow I'm going to do the running backs. I'll find some more stuff to talk about in the running backs. But was it the 13th? So I think it's Tuesday and Wednesday. I think they got mini camp. And then I think, if I remember right, mini camp's supposed to be 3 days. I think it's like 13, 14, 15. But I think the 15th is some kind of like team activity. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to go play putt golf together or going to watch a movie together or something. I don't know. But I think they're doing some type of team bonding activity or something like that on Thursday. So apparently minicamp is the guys will be on the field, mandatory, right? Is going to be Tuesday and Wednesday. So tomorrow's going to be, once again, find some stuff to talk about. So tomorrow I'm going to go over the Giants running back situation. I'm going to, of course, add Saquon in there. And I'm going to compare the Giants running back situation with the rest of the NFC East, and kind of liking the Giants situation right there. All right. Well, Terrence, as always, buddy, good talking to you. Thank you. It's been almost 50 minutes of me here shooting my mouth off. And as always, Terrence, thank you. Good talking to you, pal. So whoever spends any time watching me, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Greatly appreciate it. Or if anybody spends any time at all watching a replay, this once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can use all the support I can get, guys. Thank you. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.